Welcome back to another episode of Hey OG, Nice Kicks. During this episode, we're going to talk about the Lebron 17 More Than the Athletes that I have in the collection. It's another shoe I purchased during the pandemic, probably out of sheer boredom, and I'll tell you why. But before I get into the shoe, if you're new to the channel, on this channel, it's real simple. I pull the sneakers out of the collect, put them in front of a camera, hit record, and tell you the story behind the kicks. Some of the episodes, I really don't have a lot to say. It's not an interesting story, but I want to use this platform to do two things: share my story about the kicks and also to catalog my kicks. So I'm thinking, why not use YouTube to store and catalog my kicks? So when I want to figure out what to put on, I go to my YouTube channel, look at all the kicks on my channel instead of going in my closet and trying to figure out what to pull out from my closet. So with that said, welcome to the next episode and kick the intro.
The OG stands for old guy. Just an old guy talking that ish about my kicks. Raw and uncut. Keeping it 100 about these kicks I bought. The channel about the kicks and nothing but the kicks. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, now let's get into the LeBron 17 More Than an Athlete. Usually I don't talk about the box, but I would like to say that as far as boxes, and I'm contradicting myself because usually I say I don't care about boxes, but I do like the LeBron box, the design of the box. And that's all I'm going to say about the box because I'm not into boxes. Okay, I'll say one more thing. The design on the box, I would say, it's a black box, but the gold graffiti font they have and the designs around the box is really a nice concept. I'm spending too much time talking about boxes, especially for someone who can care less about a box and who criticize folks who sell sneakers and hype sneakers online about boxes. But in this case, the box looks good. I'm going to give them credit. Now, my first impressions of the LeBron 17s in general is simply this. The shoe looks like a blue pile-ish. I'm not going to use the curse word. It looks like a blue pile of doo-doo. I'm going to be honest. The design of this shoe does not work for me. It looks like a pile of ish, and I'll leave it at that. But I decided to purchase this shoe because of the meaning behind the shoe. The athletes are now speaking up about social justice now. Can't even talk. And I think it's really a credit to anyone who uses that platform to try to help, or at least appear to try to help other people on that platform. So I have a lot of respect for that. So the fact that LeBron created a shoe more than an athlete shoe, letting them know, hey, I'm more than just an athlete. I'm a civil servant. I care about my fans. I care about the community that I come from, that I live in, and that you live in. So I give LeBron kudos and Nike kudos for this campaign. So that's the only reason I bought these shoes. But then after I received the shoes and I took a look at the shoes, these shoes are actually fire to me. I mean, I never really saw anyone wearing them on the feet out in public. I did see them in a store, but because they looked like a pile of, not this colorway, but the shoe itself looked like a pile of ish, I pretty much just walked by it. And I'm actually glad that I bought it for the reason that I bought the shoe. But now that I have them, I really have to say I was wrong about my first impression of the 17. It's really a nice shoe. The concept of this shoe is really nice. I like the blue and the white, how it pops. It also has this patch that goes over your laces. And they also provided you in the package with an extra patch, a blue patch with white font. Of course, this one is a white patch with black font. And they also provided you with pens, I guess you call them Sharpies, to actually write your own message on the shoe. So if you have something that you want to say about social injustice or say about anything, they provided you with an opportunity on this shoe to kind of express yourself. And I like the fact that it gives you a chance to personalize and make this shoe your own, and allows you to, if you choose to, kind of convey your message and how you're feeling when you're wearing these shoes. Again, second impression, fire. First impression, Paolo blue-ish. So don't always go by your first impression with shoes. And if it wasn't for the pandemic and I was sitting in a house bored, looking at sneaker apps and looking at sneaker YouTube channels in my boredom, I probably would have missed an opportunity to add this shoe to my collection. And I'm glad that I did add this to my collection simply because of what it stands for and the message it's trying to convey. I do have a few other Lebrons in my collection. This has actually, every time I pull it out to look at it, I've only worn, these are DS, I've only worn these on feet in the house just to try them on, because the designers want to know how these things actually feel on feet. And usually LeBron shoes are heavy, they're kind of clunky, and this fits the mold as well. When I did try them on, it's a heavy, clunky shoe. It's probably a good shoe to ball in because it will support your feet. And I guarantee you, if you step on somebody's feet with these, they're going to get out your way. So I wouldn't play ball in. And again, I'm an OG. I don't play ball anymore. I spend most of my time on the golf course, riding my bike, or just simply going for a walk. Yeah, that's what we do when we get old. We don't run. We go for a walk. Although this shoe does come with the patch, I probably will wear it without the patch because, in my personal opinion, the patch on the shoe is doing too much. Although I respect the purpose and meaning behind the patch, it's just, for me personally, it's doing too much. If I want to talk about how I'm feeling socially, I'm going to tell you to your face. I'm not going to actually wear it on a t-shirt or wear it on my shoes. Although I have no problem with people who do that, I just rather tell you to your face. I like the direct approach, not the indirect, look at me, look at my shoes and what's on my shirt or shoes approach, if I have something to say or if I have an opinion. So, with that said, these are the LeBron 17, more than the athletes. And now I'll show you how they look on feet. You get a chance to see how these clunkers, these stompers look on feet. Wait until you see this. Stay tuned. As you can see, on feet, LeBron 17s, of course, like I told you earlier, I take off the patch on the top. That little plate patch thing that you can write on is doing too much for me. But these are how they look on feet. And like I said, LeBron shoes are usually heavy, which these are. Comfortable, but heavy. Some stompers. If you want to stomp somebody out, these are the shoes to put on. I'm thinking maybe because LeBron is 6'8" and weighs 260 pounds, he requires some shoes that are supportive, that can support his weight. But definitely these shoes will definitely give your calves and your legs a workout, because these are some heavy shoes to wear. There's some, like I said, I probably said this 100 times, there's some stompers. And I have some other LeBrons that I'll talk about in future episodes in my collection, and those are stompers too. So if you're out there watching LeBron, you make a fire shoe, but boy, can you make some stompers. You and Nike, y'all probably sitting in the boardroom designing the shoe saying, okay, first concept, stomper, and then build off of that. So with that said, thank you for joining me during this episode of Hey OG Nice Kicks, where we talked about, in the collect, the LeBron 17s, more than the athlete kicks. Talk to you next time. Peace.